A brother asked from Germany, in some sayings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is said that Isa, Messiah and Mahdi are the same person, but in some other books of Hadith, it is said that Isa will offer namaz behind Mahdi. It shows that they are two persons. How can we solve this dilemma?
Question first.
Yeah.
This question can be answered in two different ways. First of all, this dilemma can be put next to another dilemma that also is created by Hadith, and the Hadith taken from Sahih Sitta, which speaks Lal Mahdiyo illa Isa. So on the one hand, a Hadith speaks of Lal Mahdiyo illa Isa. On the other, another Hadith speaks of them being two different persons. First, this dilemma has to be removed. Either, or perhaps we have the option of accepting one and rejecting the other. I have accepted the option that Hadith Lal Mahdiyo illa Isa has to be right, because it goes against the beliefs of the people who presented this Hadith to us. The people of that age, when Ibn Majah was being written, believed that Jesus was different and Mahdi was different. For them to accept a Hadith which was contrary to their belief is a proof that this Hadith is a true Hadith, and they had the honesty to include it in the work, despite the fact that this Hadith was contrary or against their own personal beliefs. Now remember, this is a very important criterion to judge the truth of a Hadith as against the truth or the so-called truth of another Hadith. If the people who present a Hadith do not believe in that themselves, then this Hadith has to be authentic. If the people who present a Hadith who believe in that something, then that Hadith could be the true one or the wrong one. Either way it could be. But when you say something or support something, this is definitely against your own beliefs, then you can't be wrong. Then the Hadith has to be considered to be the right one. That is one way of addressing this problem. The second way is to go into the detail of the reporters in the chain of this Hadith and in the chain of that Hadith. If we find any suspect reporters, narrators I should say, in the second Hadith which you have just mentioned, then that Hadith will certainly be unreliable. That's the second line of approach. Number 3, sometimes a Hadith is reported differently by different reporters. If one of the reports tallies with the other Hadith, then that Hadith has to be accepted with that particular connotation, and the other has to be rejected. Instead of rejecting the whole Hadith, you accept that version of the Hadith which is in agreement with another Hadith. That's another option open to us. Now, Imamuhum minkum is one Hadith, wa ammahum minkum is another. And the debate goes on between the two different versions. Wa imamukum minkum can be translated as while your Imam will be from among you. Okay? Right? Now, if you translate it while your Imam will be from among you, then it will contradict that version which speaks of Jesus being a different person and Imam Mahdi being the same, being another person. Wa imamukum minkum, as I have said, means that Jesus will descend. I'm sorry, it's the other way around. Let me explain it further. When you take this hadith, this version of the hadith, then it will mean Jesus, when he descends, will find that the imamukum minkum, that your imam is from among you. That is, separate Imam Mahdi is there. Nikalna. The second possible meaning is Jesus who is to come will be the imamukum minkum. He will be your imam. In that understanding of the same hadith, there is no contradiction left, because it means that Jesus, whom you think he will descend, will appear among you as your imam from among you. You understand the point? Now this concept tallies exactly with the other hadith of Ibn Majah, Lal Mahdi illa Isa. So why not try to An Abi Hurairah, ये किस जगह की है? Bukhari. This is from Bukhari. Like Ibn Majah, Bukhari is even better as far as the reliability goes. It says on Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كيف أنتم إذا نزل ابن مريم فيكم وإمامكم منكم. See? وفي رواية فأمكم منكم. Now when I say وإمامكم منكم, which this can be translated, this is what I said, in two ways. What will be your position when Jesus Christ descends among you, wa imamukum minkum, and he, Jesus Christ, will be your imam as well? If you take this meaning, then it tallies perfectly with the other hadith of Ibn Majah, which speaks of Jesus not being other than the imam which you will have in the latter days. I wonder whether you understood it or not. From your expression, I think you are not properly understood. It's a very fine difference between the two possible meanings, which should be kept in view. What I said now here is كيف أنتم إذا نزل ابن مريم فيكم. How will you be when Ibn Maryam descends among you? Wa imamukum minkum, and your imam, one meaning, and your imam will be separate from among you. And the second meaning, which I prefer, is how will you be when Ibn Maryam descends among you, wa imamukum minkum, and he will be your imam from among you. You understand? Not you understand? Okay. وفي رواية فأمكم منكم. And this amma, in the second riwayat, amma can only refer to Ibn Maryam. It further strengthens the position which I have taken. فَأَمَّكُم مِّنكُم means Ibn Maryam, as he descends, will be your imam, but from among you. So that means that his descent is metaphorical. He is the same person who is leading you, and no other person will come to lead you. This meaning is supported by that Hadith of Ibn Majah, Lal Mahdi illa Isa, which means there is no contradiction between the two Hadith. Imam Mahdi would be no different from Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ would be no different from Imam Mahdi. When he descends, it will be he who will lead the Ummah. And he will lead the Ummah not from outside, but from being among you. He will lead the Ummah because he will belong to you. That positively shows that the Jesus who is predicted to descend is not physically descending. He can only lead the Ummah from being among them if he is metaphorically mentioned. If he represents Jesus Christ only by way of metaphor and not really and physically. This is the meaning which we Ahmadi adopt. That's one way of resolving the problem. There is yet another way of resolving the problem. If Jesus Christ must descend, then he must also ascend. If Jesus Christ must descend himself personally, then the onus of proof that he did ascend also lies on us. We have to prove that he did not die and he ascended to heaven. A new discussion will begin. You have to first decide the issue of Jesus' life or death. If, according to the Quran and Hadith and other historical facts, you prove beyond a shadow of doubt that Jesus Christ, the old Jesus of Moses, is dead, is not alive, then what will be the meaning of this Hadith and that Hadith? That is the question. Then this Hadith can only be interpreted metaphorically. Then the Imam who is to come, you may call him Jesus, you may give him the title Jesus, but he still would be born in the Ummah of Muhammad Rasulullah and will be an Imam of this Ummah. So these are all possible options of resolving that dilemma which has been mentioned in the question. Have you understood? Good. Have you?
Yes, I try.
Okay.
I'll try.
If you have understood, that is all I wanted.
Okay.
Because then you will be able to convey yourself properly in Arabic, right?
Yes, sir.